I met this girl, and we used to go to teen clubs and dance. And Shane Sparks was a really good friend of mine, and he's an awesome choreographer to this day. He
Yeah.
teaches hip hop class and stuff. And so we used to do like he taught me how to pop, and like we used to dance battle at these teen clubs in Ohio. And I remember this girl saying, I'm from LA and you're a really good dancer. You can stay at my house. My mom's going to Cancun and the house is empty. So, I really think you could make it. And honestly, my goal, everything that I've done outside of being a backup dancer is an accomplishment, because I didn't want to be in the front at all. I just wanted to be a part of, like, I remember watching Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation and, Paula Abdul, and that's what I wanted to do. The Fly Girls, like, remember Jennifer Lopez and like all the girls, and so that's what I liked. And I just wanted to be a part of.
Yes.
I didn't like I was super shy, and so to be like in the front wasn't my goal. We basically are sneaking into different nightclubs here in LA, and she had a fake ID, so she'd go in and then she'd have someone bring it out to me, and then I'd wait for a minute and then I'd go in.
That's classic. Times, they'll never change.
I know.
It's just some
Tale
things
as old
change,
as
but
time.
some stay the
So
same.
we were getting into all these really cool clubs, and I, like, just coming from the teen club world, was just like amazed, like, wow, this is a different world. And I didn't drink or anything, so that wasn't an issue. But I loved dancing, and there were so many good dancers. And this woman approached me at one of the clubs, and at first I thought because she was staring at me, and I thought she was like mad dogging me, and I'm like feeling uncomfortable. I'm like, listen, I'm from Cincinnati, like, we throw down, like, you know what I mean? It's a whole different,
We eat chili
different
on
world.
spaghetti.
It's a whole different world. Like, someone looks at you funny, you say something back, like, you know what I mean? Like, but it wasn't even that. So I was completely wrong. She approached me and she said, I have an all-girl band that I'm producing with Prince, and I think you're a really good dancer, and I'd love to have you in my band and meet Prince and, audition
Oh my
for
God.
the band.
Oh my God.
I'm like,
Oh my God.
that's perfect.
happening?
Well, I was really nervous because I didn't really truly believe that Prince was going to come to this club. Like, it just seemed like it wasn't going to happen. And it was getting later and later, and he wasn't showing up. And so I was like, I don't know. You hear stories about, like, LA. Watch out.
Yeah.
Coming from, like,
This could have been a
other
Lifetime
places.
movie gone wrong, It had the makings.
Who knows? Who
But
knows?
it didn't end like that.
So I was with my girlfriend that I was staying with, obviously, and a blue BMW pulls up, and so I'm like, okay, that seems very Prince-like, I can imagine him in a blue BMW, and we just took a chance and we went to his house. But it was really scary. Like, honestly, I was kind of scared.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He was driving the BMW?
No, his brother was.
Okay, and was it a light blue or,
Or like a
dark,
royal blue.
dark blue?
It was that, like, it was like, let's say this was the 90s, so it was
90s blue.
it was like it was kind of like an aqua, aqua.
Like almost like teal.
But
area?
nobody had it. Like, you didn't see it.
Custom paint
Aqua was
job.
very
Blue?
custom, kind of aqua-ish, if I can recall.
Oh
if I can
my
go back
God.
that far in my mind.
in the recesses.
But it definitely stood out, like,
Oh my God.
amongst everything. So
oh my God.
I was like, okay, well, maybe this is real.
the story is amazing.
Maybe this is real. And then I remember like I was a huge fan of the Love Sexy tour and Sign of the Times. And so he had a dancer that performed with him, and her name's Kat. And she would hit really hard. She danced really hard, and I really loved her style. And so I knew that, like, dance was kind of, a part of the whole thing, but I didn't know to the extent. Later on, I find out. So anyway, we go like up, we're going up into the hills, and we're like, oh my God, are we ever gonna get there? It's like seems kind of far, and I'm not familiar with the hills at all.
So that's scary.
Yeah, so it was a little scary, but we get there, and he's standing in the doorway.
Oh.
And he's making like sort of a sexy face, and he's like in his little matching suit, and I was scared. I was like, I just stood there. I was, oh my God. Okay, I guess she's right. And like I honestly, I'll just go back a little. Like in school, I would not read a book report in front of the class. I was so shy. Dancing was not a problem. In between class, not a problem.
You're just not a performer. You're not a center stage front
I
center. That's
would
not
just
you.
sit in the back of the class with my hair covering my face, like drawing. I just, I don't know, very shy in that way. And so I'm just, feeling super shy in that moment and not knowing what's going to happen. And so we ended up playing pool, and I suck at playing pool. So he was kind of laughing at me. But we talked about dance.
So sexy. And
No, he was, but it was scary to me in a way.
Yeah.
I really just wanted to work.
Oh.
And honestly, because I basically had a week to figure it out. And so he got on the piano and he goes, "Do you sing?" And I said, "Yeah," but mostly in musicals from performing arts school. And it was a blessing because he thought it was really funny. He started playing Do Re Mi from The Sound of Music, except for I really know it head to toe because I was in it. I played Brigida in that musical.
Oh.
And so I was so it was perfect, but obviously you're not going to sing like that when you're with Prince. But
No.
so he was being he has such a great sense of humor. So I think he thought it was funny and probably thought I wouldn't know it. So he was like, okay. Okay. And then he wanted me to dance, to see me dance. So he played, I can't remember. And so he's playing music from that movie that he was about to premiere. And I just started dancing, hip hop, and then some jazz, crazy, just kind of thrashy jazz.
Yes.
You freestyled it?
I was total freestyle.
That's intimidating.
And so he was, well, actually, to be honest, he was very quiet and didn't say anything. And so he said, "Give me a minute." And so he was talking with this woman that, that had the band. And so I went downstairs and I'm just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm like, "Oh, please, please, I really want to be in her band." And she kept walking down. She's like, he won't give me an answer. And so it was just really uncomfortable. I'm like, what am I doing here? It felt weird.
That's so
And so I'm just I didn't make it. And then so I was like, okay, can the limo, because there was a limo outside for a while. I'm like, can the limo take me back? And basically, it was getting late. It was after the club. And so the driver was gone. And so I spent the night downstairs, in the guest room, and I was so scared. I was petrified. But everything was fine. The next day, the girl that had the band was really cool. Was cool enough to say, she's like, "Well, I have some connections at Capitol Records."
So had he said no?
He wouldn't say yes or no.
Coy.
What?
Kind of annoying.
He wouldn't say yes or no.
All right.
Wow.
Okay, Prince.
And so I was like, oh my God, I sucked. I really sucked. I blew it. And so she took me to Capitol Records, and I did the same thing. I sang a song and danced, and I ended up getting a demo deal with Capitol. And so I signed. I didn't have an attorney, and I just signed.
Yeah.
I was so excited. and that allowed me to be in LA for quite some time. And I was recording demos with different, different artists, but it wasn't like an official demo deal, you know. So I still had to really like prove it through the music and whatnot. My friend ended up staying friends with Prince's brother, and he also did security for them. So basically, I get a call from her, and she's, I'm staying at the Holiday Inn in Glendale. She called, and my friend called me because I didn't have to stay at her house anymore. And her mom, like, we snuck and did that. Like, her mom would have been upset. Anyway, so she said, Prince wants you to, at the same, basically meet up at the same club and wants to hear your demos. And so I thought, okay, cool. Went to the club, brought my demos, and that night we went to his hotel. He was staying at a hotel. And I remember it was super innocent, very innocent, but he listened to the demos and he said, we could use those for coasters or frisbees.
Oh, so
What? He was very
wicked.
You know what? His humor, his sarcasm is like it's so strange because actually Prince and Dave have the same birthday. Oh, and they both have that like very witty sarcasm. Like now, like later in life, I wouldn't have been like, but I remember feeling like so bad. Like, oh my God, that sucked too,
Oh no, he didn't give you a break in those early meetings.
I'm really shocked at how much rejection is involved. I guess that's like part of anyone's story, but it is really kind of almost refreshing that, like, I don't know, it sounds like you really struggled and what got a lot of...
Yeah, she struggled.
Like a lot of shit.
Yeah, I mean...
I danced on Soul Train, though, and then I thought that was, like, everything, because I did the Scrabble board, and I got to go down,
that is everything.
The aisle, like, dance alone.
You gotta find a clip of that.
I know.
I've tried. I can't find it.
We'll get on.
So I went back to the hotel, like, little time went on. It was really sweet. He actually, like, had my hair straightened. And like a few like things, and I was like, I felt like a new person, like without the perm, like, like straight hair, and I'm like, wow, like that was really nice of him. That's very sweet. And I went back to my hotel, and he called me directly at my hotel, and I answered the phone. He's like, I'm like, oh my God, it's Prince, and he has such, he talks very quiet and like,
oh my God,
and I was like freaking out. And call me at the Holiday Inn. Yeah. Awesome. I really felt like a baller at that moment. He basically said, the reason I didn't say yes to you being in the band is because I think you should be your own artist.
Oh.
And I was like, what?
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Like, I was so excited. In the meantime, though, I've signed a demo deal. And he said, I want to sign you to Paisley Park Records. And I said, but in the meantime, I've signed this deal. And then he said, are you a blonde or a brunette? I actually am a blonde right now, but like I'm a brunette, and like I was so young that like I took things, so personal.
Yeah,
like
of
I'm
course.
like not like now where I'd be like, shut up,
Right.
So I was like, I'm a brunette. And he said, well, I have a ticket for you waiting. You'll be picked up at, 7 a.m. and catch your flight to Minneapolis. And so I just bounced on Capitol Records. Like, I just left.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my God.
And I couldn't sleep, and literally I was talking to like a friend of mine who's like, are you kidding? It's Prince. You gotta go. Mm-hmm. If he wants to sign you to Paisley Park and you just have a demo deal, you may never get signed. Mm-hmm. And so I just was like, oh my God, okay. And I just took a big chance and went out there. and a purple limo picked me up.
Okay.
Oh my, there it is.
That's what we've been.
We found it.
That's unreal. That was the L.A. purple limo, or when you landed in Minneapolis?
Minneapolis.
Okay,
Of course.
That-
Minneapolis. And I'm like,
Paisley Park.
and the phone rings in the back of the limo. Like, did you make it okay? Like, very attentive, very sweet.
Very Prince.
Yes. And then I remember he said, do you have a lot of clothes? And to me, I did. I thought I did. I thought I had a lot of clothes. Like, I really did.
If he's
But-
about to take you shopping, I'm going to pass out.
I know.
He did. And he's like, go get something white. Something white. And so there's only really one picture of us, like, together. And that was my first photo shoot there. And he's like, let me try. He wanted to try out some things. And that's around the time that Diamonds and Pearls came out.
Oh.
And so I have pearls in my hand, and it's a really special picture. And then he just started like writing music, and like would give me a pad and say, "Come on, write," And I was so nervous, but I started recording, and I like had my own record that he produced and played music on, along with like a lot of other like really cool people. Moni Love. Not sure if you remember her. Moni in the middle. Where's she at? In the middle. Like, this is 90s. Like, I don't know. You
90s
probably weren't even
Prince
born yet.
culture
No, I
and
was
Prince
definitely
lore.
born. I was born.
So, like, she wrote some stuff, and it was just awesome. And then I had a chance to go on tour, and that just blew me away because all of a sudden I had my own band.
Oh my
And
God.
What?
I opened up for him on the Diamonds and Pearls tour
So
in,
Oh my
Crazy.
gosh.
in Europe.
And at what point was he like, your name is Carmen Electra? How did...
It happened right away.
Really?
Yeah, because we watched. I mean, I didn't really go through all the details, but when I went to the hotel, we watched a movie called Carmen Jones,
Oh.
and so it's like a musical, and he's like, you look like Carmen. You just look like a Carmen. And so
Jesus, I wish he would have named
and so
me.
it was kind of fun because my real name is Tara, and I love my name.
Tara's a very you, too. I see both.
But like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, Prince gave me a lot of confidence, and he really believed. Like,
This is, like,
he
the
really
most
believed in me.
empowering.
So all of a sudden, I'm like shooting with like flying to New York,
Crazy.
shooting with like like the best photographers, and just getting like the artwork together for the record and recording, and then went on tour.
This is a modern day fairy tale.
I mean, yeah.
This is like
It really-
you're a Disney princess.
Honestly.
was there ever like a romantic vibe or like a crush either way between you and Prince, or like ever that kind of feeling? Was it always purely mentorship?
Eventually, yeah. Not at first, but as time went on, yeah.
You dated, or there was more there? Or just,
Yeah, I was his girlfriend, yeah.
Umbrella of like
He
beauty,
was,
hair.
He was always dressed to the nines. Always.
These are-
Like, even, like, his pajamas, like, are, like, perfect. And so I remember I was so young, so I was wearing, like, baggy jeans and sneakers, and he's like, oh, no, And so, like, my wardrobe changed.
so funny.
And, like, I mean, when I like danced on Soul Train, I would wear like hot pants and stuff like that, but I wouldn't necessarily like wear them around all the time. And so the next thing you know, like I'm wearing hot pants and like a big coat and high heels in the Minnesota winter. Like,
oh my God.
but like walking through snow.
That's harsh.
And so it was my choice, you know what I mean? But I started dressing like I always dressed sexy and then sporty. That was basically an amazing experience. Opened up for him in Europe with my own band. Like, I didn't, like, honestly, I didn't know I could actually accomplish that, and I did. And, like, so that was like a huge, I don't know, a huge part of my entire career to be able to make it through that You know,
that's crazy.
I
I mean, because like
only
he plays in
imagine.
huge stadiums, so it was like,
oh, we know.
I'm like, oh my god, and
so
they're there to
surreal.
see him, and here I am opening
Miss
up.
Carmen.
You're this is like, it's legendary. You can't write a story like that. I mean, it's a fairy tale.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So cool.
So basically, after that tour, I was back in Minneapolis, and he, I was just on a certain leg of the tour, and so I was back, and then I was just like, I was really bored. I felt really like lonely and bored because he was out there for quite some time in Europe. And so when he came back, it kind of clicked in my head, and I just kind of thought, he has a house in LA, and he's always in LA. Like in LA, I can take, major dance classes, and my friend is here, that, was with me for the ride and all that. And so, I just went to him and said, can I, live in LA? And he was like, okay. And I, explained why I wanted to live there. And so I was in LA for quite some time. And then I don't want to go too deep into anything, but basically, like, I just found out a lot of stuff. And wanted, like, something inside of me was like, I have to, I became more outspoken, and I just didn't feel that comfortable, like, being too outspoken with him for some reason. And so I, basically I was kind of like given a choice, like, move back to Minneapolis or you're on your own. And I'm like, well, I think I'm going to be on my own.
Wow, that's
good for you.
Brave.
And I kind of figured if I can't make it on my own, then I don't deserve it. And that's like, when I look back at how young I was, it's a pretty like brave thing to think.
Yeah.
Like
that's a risk that you took that
you're like 19, 20 years old, and you have the option of like
And I was like
staying
21. I think I was about 21, yeah.
It's really young.
I think
really
everyone is a
scary.
child until 27, so that's my own personal opinion.
So then, like, because I made that choice, I thought I was crazy and, like, literally, like, struggled. Like, it's, like, starting from the beginning.
So scary.
But I had, like, my makeup and I had a great wardrobe. So
All you need, girl. All you need.
So that's so inspiring.
So I was just kind of like, I didn't have a car. I didn't
do need a car.
I didn't have.
Yeah,
Didn't have a bank account.
Some maybe would be helpful as well.
And I was kind of just staying with like people that I met, like whatever.
But Lord knows you had your falsies and you had your damn black eyeliner.
I sure did.
Yeah.
And no one really knew because I was going out and people would always go, "Who are you?" Like, are you a model? Are you? I'm like, yeah, 5'2". Yeah, I'm a model.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, like, I remember I would go to the Beverly Center and look around.
So awesome.
I'd look around. And a lot of people would say, like, you should get into acting. And I was like, are you crazy? Like, I'm so shy. Like, there's no possible way. Like, I'm a dancer. That's it. And, I worked with Prince. And, like, an underground following knew that. But anyway, basically, it got to the point where I called him because, I didn't have food. And it was, like,
my God.
It was, like, pretty rough. So I called him up, and I was like, listen, like, I'm kind of going through a hard time. And he said, well, go to Glam Slam in L.A.
What's
and
that?
It was his nightclub in L.A.
Oh. Prince at a nightclub in LA?
Yeah.
Okay, go there and do what?
And there was like basically a group of dancers, and Jamie King was a choreographer, the person I was talking about earlier. And if you liked the show, then you can be in it. And it was it was like way ahead of its time.
So cool.
Like way ahead of its time. Like, you know, like I still see things and I'm like, oh my God, that's so Erotic City, because it was called Erotic City.
That's so cool.
So we put on a show every Friday to unreleased Prince music.
Oh my gosh.
And everyone had like a name from a song, and like so many people loved it. Like people that remember that, they like loved the show. And I think it was like $100 a week.
Oh.
And that was good. That was good.
Something.
That was good. And I made more friends, and they would, you know, help me, and ended up getting an apartment.
Wow.
But I had a couple girlfriends that had cars, and like basically Jamie was really sweet, and he introduced me to like this publicist and a manager. And so they started like getting me auditions and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, I'm scared to death. Like, what am I going to do? And I had to kind of get over the fear, because I wasn't going to just give up. And I remember the first, you know, Playboy happened, and then that was awesome because, you know, and that's a whole long story. But like, you know, I chose to do a pictorial, and so I made like a nice chunk of money.